Welcome to a brand new season of Second Chance with Johneri'O Scott, where we dive deep into stories of resilience, redemption, and reinvention. This season, we're taking you on a journey to explore the power of second chances, whether it's in your life, love, business, or self-discovery. With every guest, you'll witness incredible transformations, inspiring moments of triumph, and valuable lessons that prove it's never too late to start over and rewrite a new chapter. I'm Johneri'O Scott, and this season we're talking about the bold moves, the struggles, and the breakthroughs that led to those pivotal second chances. Whether you're faced with obstacles or you're seeking a fresh start, my guests and I are here to show you that hope, healing, and success are always within reach. This season is filled with the kind of heart, wisdom, and empowerment that will inspire you to embrace your own second chance journey. So let's get started. Today on Second Chance, we're joined by a true marketing mastermind, someone who has redefined what it means to build brands and influence consumer behavior at the highest level. With over 12 years of experience, Passionate has worked, y'all, when I say worked, with luxury brands, celebrities, and major corporations. Moet Hennessy, helping them craft unforgettable marketing strategies and elevate their brand presence. Isn't just her expertise in marketing, it's her unwavering belief in the power of mindset and the law of attraction. Beyond being a marketing and branding coach, she's a ghostwriter for successful authors and a true motivator who uses her own second chance story to inspire others to overcome challenges and transform their lives. We can't wait to dive deep into her journey, her insights on building a business, and how she's helped countless individuals and brands reach their full potential. Let's welcome Passionate.
Wow.
You like that?
That was a mouthful.
Listen, but it's
Yes.
you are a mouthful. Everything I've
I
said.
sure am, baby. You already know how. That's why I like you. You know what to do and what to say.
Listen, got to. But you have done all the things that I've said.
Yeah.
So how do you ever look back and look at your journey and be like, wow?
Absolutely, all the time. But I think I probably look forward more because I'm very goal oriented. And it's so funny because you dive right on in, and I love it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go ahead and get
Let's go.
We
don't waste no time.
I love it. I think that you have to look back in order to kind of know where you're going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to see how far you've come.
That part.
Yeah.
It makes
so
you
I
more
look back
grateful.
a lot. Yeah. And, I come from a small town, and my mom used to tell me, I couldn't do this, or if you think you're going to do that, then good luck, or you're dreaming. And I use that as motivation, for sure. I always wanted to prove to her that whatever she said I could not do, I could. And that wasn't always the case.
Yeah.
But when it was like, job related or something to do with dreams, I wouldn't stop until I did it.
So tell me about 12-year-old or 10-year-old Passionate, like the dreams and what you saw, and even if it wasn't what you seen at that moment, you still dreamed that dream.
Yeah. You know what? Again, I come from a small town, so we watched a lot of television. And guys, back in the day, TV was what you had. It wasn't social media. You had Showtime at the Apollo.
Okay.
We had MTV Total Request.
Ooh.
We had
the
BET.
good shows.
We actually Martin. We had Family Matters, and my mom got divorced when I was around that age. So my childhood, I really didn't see like two-parent household.
Same.
I saw the entrepreneur mom, the struggling mom, the hustling mom, the I'm working 3 jobs mom, the your siblings we all taking care of each other's mom, and I was the baby. So television played a major role into my life, into my dreams. And I would say I believe, but I think that it's facts that whatever you can see or whatever you're exposed to, you can do.
You can do it.
You just need to be introduced to it. So television, I saw the family, I saw the husband, I love Vanity. I love Cherie. I love Diana Ross.
We can see from the outfit. Yes.
These are my people. And yeah, I always knew I wanted to be on television. I always wanted to model, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of came from there.
So how did you get your start in marketing? Like, what was that? Did you pull back from your childhood to go into marketing?
No, I used to model.
Okay.
I was making tons of money modeling. Now, you see, they call them influencers now.
Uh-huh.
But back in the day, I used to do like $20,000 gigs. My very first job, I feel that made sense when I realized, wait, this could be like a career. I was a security guard, a concierge person at a corporation. It was called Russell Athletic.
Okay.
You know, the sweatshirts and the workout stuff and the team clothing and really big in Sports Authority, Nike, stuff like that. So this how I got work out.
All right.
This is so fun because everything's divine order, right? So basically, I'm at the desk. A model did not show up, right? So the photographer comes down and is like, Passionate, I need a huge favor. It's paid. I need you to, I need a model. Model didn't come up real quick or whatever. So I said, okay, well, how long is it going to be? Because I was at work, right? My boss did not play it. He did not play the piano, baby, no. So I snuck up there. He said it'd be an hour, right? They had like light touch-up makeup. So I didn't have a lot of makeup on. I put my hair in a ponytail. It was big and curly. And I landed a campaign with Russell Athletic. And I was in Sports Authority. I had billboards. It was crazy. I was going to the mall, Hibbett Sports, and it would be me. And
I know that's right.
Yeah, so then he, mind you, it was a whole secret.
Oh, yeah, because you was at work.
I was at work. So then they started using me for their catalogs and stuff. Mind you, I'm just doing it, right, guys? I'm just working. I'm like, oh, this is fine. Oh, my check was $20,000 for some shit.
Bring it back.
20 grand.
Bring it back.
He didn't ever tell me what the pay was or nothing.
Yeah.
And so that's when I said, wait, I can get paid for this? And then that's when I just started networking. I'm the networking queen, baby. I'll figure it out. Like, I love to shadow people. I love to learn, you know, stuff like that. So that happened. Okay. Still at work. Didn't tell nobody because, you know, when you don't have no money, you think that's a lot of money. You want nobody to ask you for shit.
It's mine.
Especially my mama child. My mama used to pimp all of us. Listen, she ain't gonna take my whole $20,000. Anyway,
like, you ain't know what it is.
Baby, listen.
5,000
Nobody
left.
knew. Then I started doing hair modeling.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody saw me and was like, "Is that your hair? Oh my God!" So I landed the Mega Growth oil.
The oil.
I have the #1 selling product with that line till this day, and I've been on the packaging for 16 years now. Got paid for 5.
It's still on there.
I need my coins.
Yeah, because it's still going.
They know they're investigating.
Oh.
Yeah, they're trying to find a contract that was never signed.
Wow.
But that's the whole nother tea.
Listen, and that's going to be another second chance story.
Baby. But so yeah, I was like the hair girl. So I actually landed 5 different packaging.
Wow.
Yeah, I think 2 was the main model, and then the other ones I was on the side or on the back. All over the website, and that check was cute.
I bet it was.
That check was cute. It was a 5-year contract, and that's when I bought
that was
my
cute.
first car. It was like a BMW Cash, right?
Wow.
So from that, I started modeling into the spirits world. I was the Ciroc girl, the Budweiser girl, the Remy Martin girl, the whoever had a check.
Girl.
Baby. Okay, I worked 24/7. I just felt like, you know, in order to be successful, it had to do with time, which you don't. It just has to do with strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah. So started doing that, linked up with a beautiful black woman. Her name's Camille Binder. She worked for Cavassier at the time. And her son had a tragic accident on a school bus. Wow. And she completely checked out. And while she checked out, I was like, well, I can't check out. I still got to work.
Right, the money come in.
So listen, I ran the company. I ran the business. I hired the models, and she saw something in me, and she wasn't a gatekeeper, how we was talking about gatekeeping earlier off camera. She sent me like Excel spreadsheets, like, hey, here's how to do payroll. whatever. My child is still in the hospital. So that's how I learned management.
Mm-hmm.
And from that opportunity, she was like, listen, you're really good at this. I think that you should create a company so this could be a legit thing and you can make money off of what you're doing, booking the models. Because at this time, I'm working, but I'm getting paid for the hours I work, right? So I kind of was pushed. Everything that I do, I'm pushed to do it, right?
Just
so
set
I
you
was
up.
pushed to, hey, you have to create a company, get articles of incorporation, EIN, get a business bank account so we can hire you to book the models. So I started doing events and modeling. Well, booking models.
Booking, yeah.
Yeah. And I just climbed the ladder from there. Yeah.
Wow. Do you ever like just sit back and be like, it pays to be open? Because let's say the guy would have came downstairs and was like, you'd be like no.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be where we would say from that. You wouldn't be, all
wouldn't-
these things
yeah.
that you have succeeded in.
Right.
So network, and then today you network. So let's talk to the new entrepreneurs.
Okay.
How important is networking when it comes to building a brand or building a face?
Yeah.
Well, you really had to
Yeah.
build a face. She is the face.
Oh, okay, shirt. You got all these shirts. If you don't start your apparel company, this is like the fourth thing you said.
That ain't said
That's a damn shirt.
Shirt coming.
I'm gonna model your shirt for you.
Ooh, and we're gonna be.
my hoodie, baby. Don't play.
And I'm gonna see you at 20,000 plus check.
Okay. Ooh, well, we gotta get moving on
Let's
that.
get on it.
I need that today.
Like tomorrow.
Networking is so important, but I think what's most important is energy and intentions. A lot of people want to network and meet you because they want to use you or just get access to like your resources or something like that. I think when I really started to be successful financially was when I started choosing my clients. At some point you gotta create boundaries in your personal life and your business, and you shouldn't be easily accessible. And I tell people all the time, let's do a consultation. I make them pay for it because it's a filtering system. Everything that we do has a strategy to it. So if you're willing to pay me for my time for, to have a conversation where I'm giving you some insight or, consulting in you and your brand, then you should pay me for my time, right? And if people don't want it, they can use it. I charge $199 for a 30-minute to hour consultation.
Because it's you giving good knowledge, good resources.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them what's wrong and how we can fix it, and if they want to move forward, it comes off of their monthly retainer. And then I also let you know who's really serious about moving forward. But in that consultation, you're not interviewing me. I'm not interviewing them. It's all about a match. Even in personal lives, people are dating, right? And they're dating people and not saying this is 100% facts. This is just something that I observed, right? Actually, I'm going to get a little personal, tell y'all about my last relationship. Great guy, phenomenal guy, vegan, went 100% plant-based, right? Moved in together. Everything was great. He was a Leo. Leo and Libras, we are compatibility signs. Then you got me, a Creole lady who loves to cook. That's what I love to do. Every day, all day. How could you really go on that journey, especially when it's new, and you have to smell
all these
gumbo, crawfish etouffee, pot roast, jerk chicken, smothered chicken. It's hard, right? No love lost. It wasn't a fit because when he told me he was vegan, I knew. I said, I know I cook like an old grandma with a fat ass.
And
y'all know the
just
grandmas
jiggling.
with them fat asses, baby. They booty the bottom. They stir the pot. That booty
Go to the left.
Baby, listen. So I knew, and he cracked. He couldn't take it, and it was like I said. You can't force nobody to be who you want them to be. Vice versa. Listen. God knows I wanted that man to not be vegan, and I know that's wrong.
Change him,
I know that's wrong because I understand his journey, and he was going through a spiritual journey. But it's just about finding your match, finding like-minded individuals, and that's business too. But see, it's different because if you're paying me to help you elevate and grow your business, I need you to know what I believe in you. We're going to win. It's going to work. We're going to accelerate. If you're coming in like, I'm depending on this person, no. You got to depend on yourself.
Nah, for real.
And then I'm believing in your confidence, right? And that's making me like, oh, yeah, and we're a team and we mesh. So when I started to choose my clients, even though they choosing me too, I'm not going to say it's just a one. It's a two-way street. And it's all about matching and finding your match. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So in this length of time that you have been doing marketing and being very strategic with, the strategies that you're pitching to them, how was it pitching? Because you have to do a lot of pitching to other brands to let them know that, hey, I wouldn't say brands, but businesses, let them know that, hey, this is my client wants this. Like, how do you pitch that? And when it comes to pitching brands, how do you incorporate that into your own life?
So you have some great questions. Never been asked that before. So I come from corporate. So I come from luxury brands. I come from billion-dollar brands. So when COVID happened, I had to release that this is bitch, you've been blessed.
Yeah.
I created concepts and campaigns, right? And pretty much my job was, of course, it's always marketing is to increase volume and sales, right? That's really what it's always about. And then how to do it. How do we do this? But there's parts of marketing where your brand is more than money. How do you connect? How do you build trust? How do you find your demographic? How do you identify your demographic? You have people, I'll find somebody and they may have like a clothing line. And they may be like, I don't want this group wearing my stuff. It's like, baby, you can't control who's buying your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You just know that you're getting the money,
if
deposits.
You're in business, like I hear a lot of black businesses, like, I'm for the blacks. And I'm like, this some white ass shit.
Listen.
Like, listen, the white people, and I love my black people, but black people, y'all, we got to do a little bit better.
Please.
I'm not going to say all black people, but we be wanting to deal. We be wanting to goddamn negotiate.
Friends, family deals.
Not saying it's just us, because maybe that's a personality trait. I don't want y'all to come at me. But, I just feel like you got to be open-minded. Why put yourself in a box and only go after a certain group of people when you can make it for the world? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, I guess to kind of not be so long-winded and to answer your question, it's crazy because I just started working with personal brands and I hate it.
Wow.
Yeah, but like what I do is I create campaigns. Coca-Cola, you might see the polar bear. Remember that was real big when we were kids?
Definitely.
Somebody created that. Somebody said, you know what, let's do a polar bear. And I still don't know what's the connection. I know it's the North Pole, Christmas maybe, and it's cold and the Coke is cold.
And it's best when it's cold.
But why a bear? Why they didn't use a reindeer? You see what I'm saying? Somebody created that, and that's what I do. I've created a lot of programs, activations. Like have you ever been out in a club and you seen like liquor models? And they may have like an iPad and it may be like, hey, sign up to win this and come to an exclusive concert with Drake. Yeah. I create stuff like that. Yeah. And
then having the emails going and going and going.
Yeah. And the goal is to really get those emails, right? But of course, we still put that marketing budget back and we do have a concert with Drake, but everybody's not going to win.
Everybody's not.
So it's just different ways of engagement, connecting with the people. Fashion Nova, by the way, whoever is on your marketing team is a bomb. Because they understand their demographic. They understand how to connect with them. And they got rid of just being so professional. Yeah. They got rid of that company corporate shit.
That's pretty little thing that Tiana Taylor started helping with. I was like, is that fashion? Yeah.
Yeah, that changing the image, just the vibe, just, how people receive the brand.
Yeah.
And that'll actually pipe up your shit. Endorsements, bringing people on, brand integration. If you got the right person, I think Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B both signed with Fashion Nova, and then all of a sudden it was cool. Because for a minute, Fashion Nova.
Oh, Fashion Nova wasn't, yeah.
Everybody was like, oh, cheap
Fashion
bitches
Nova.
wear.
Nah, for real.
So
And now they.
$1 billion company.
Marketing.
Owned by a guy. Marketing branding. Is so
It's owned by a guy?
Yeah, so it's a man that owns Fashion Nova.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So.
Marketing.
Yeah.
So do you think that you got your work ethics from your mom? Or do you see parts of...
Because my mom was always at work.
Yeah.
So I was raised pretty much by my siblings. I was the baby. Mm-hmm. But I did watch her, and I went to work with her a lot. And my mom is a serial entrepreneur. She done sold plates. She had a boutique at the flea market. And I remember they put her in the back, and I always didn't understand. Like, my mom had the best clothes. Why is she in the back? So I
She was taking all the money.
Baby, I was like 8 years old, and I would go to the front, and I would just pull people, come with me, come look at my mom's shop. And I would show them, like, look at this dress, look at this. So I kind of always...
You was already in it.
I was a little grown little kid.
So, like, what do you believe are the key elements that make a marketing campaign truly successful in today's competitive landscape?
The people. I think knowing your demographic, knowing what's trending, knowing what people want. And people tell you what they want by algorithm, engagement, what's trending, what's the hot topic. Now we can see the numbers. Again, marketing is always about volume and numbers. And from a post, you can see literally the engagements from the likes, the views, the comments. The people tell you what they want. They're very vocal online. Resumes been fluffed for years. And it's all the wrong people getting all the right jobs.
That
the jobs
part,
not being
I need
done.
the right one.
Yeah, you got the right one. We just got to keep going at it. But I think that it's not the concept, because it always worked. I just gave you one. What Cardi and Megan did for Fashion Nova. It's about finding and aligning with the right influencers, the ones that are really movers and shakers, because people can fluff up numbers. You can fluff up your followers. They even got it to where they do the likes, they do the comments, they even do the shares you can fluff up. But you also got to know that person's demographic, right? Like I did something with, it was like a health product, and we hired a celebrity, and nobody cared. But she wasn't known for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, going back
what I should have did was hired somebody that was a fitness person. You know what I'm saying? Like a bit fitness influencer or somebody that was health conscious, because that's
the
demographic.
audience, and they already got it.
There you go. That's the right word to use. The audience. And a lot of people make that, they might say, oh, Sexy Red is hot right now. Glorilla's hot right now. Let me have her push.
How did they do things like that?
Let me have her push Visine for dry eyes.
Make it make sense.
No, that's not what she hot for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have somebody that's an influencer on TikTok who's blind or who got LASIK and did their journey on TikTok, or, somebody that is known for something with the eyes. That's their audience. They're interested in that. And usually it's relatable people. It's people that have eye problems as well.
Right.
That's who I would hire. You see what I'm saying?
Do you look at yourself as successful? Because someone being on the outside and looking at you and looking at all the amazing things you do. Like, I want to talk about what you do on Fridays, but all the amazing things that you do, networking, the brands that you work with. Do you look at yourself and say, I'm successful?
Yeah, absolutely. But I say I'm successful before that. I don't think that brands make you successful. And I think that people associate success with finances. When it really should be, associated with accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't finish. A lot of people don't have experience. What makes you successful is the work you put in, the consistency, the training, you want to go above and beyond. I think we were just talking about this, investing in yourself, taking classes, learning more, to be successful, because I could create a product tomorrow and go ham on TikTok, and then boom, she done made $1 million. But that don't make me successful. That's why these new, they're not even called, what is Gen Z?
Gen Z.
They're spending the money and then it's not coming back because they don't know how to keep it going. See what I'm saying? They're not hiring people no more. They're doing everything. They're making a fucking product. I'm like, damn, you're making that much money. You need to go ahead and have somebody distribute your stuff now. Let's take it to Target and Walmart. Like, let's do deals. You know what I'm saying? So I think what makes me, I've been successful a long time ago. And you ever heard of Hennessy Black?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was tough.
I launched Hennessy Black. I was part of this amazing team, and we created an activation to launch it. And, you know, launching a spirits brand is very difficult because everybody's stuck in their own ways. They're drinking what they know. They're drinking what their parents drank. And it's just hard to kind of tap into that market, you know, unless it's celebrity driven. And they still struggle because I think Nicki Minaj even had a wine. Ludacris had a cognac.
You didn't even hear about Nicki Minaj thing that long.
It don't last because it's again, you have to build a brand, and it's built off consistency and quality, okay, and connecting with your demographic, and that's what it's about, brand relationships. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think that she's doing her Sir David? Is it Sir Davis?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that marketing?
I think she's phenomenal. I actually was a part of that. I knew about that. I had to sign an NDA.
Let's talk.
I was a part of that launch, and you know, I'm not a recording type of person, but that was one of the moments where I wanted to record, and I couldn't because I don't really post my life.
Yes.
You know, I mean, for what? Like that, you know, I like to repeat my outfits, but I'm just saying, boy, that shit again.
Listen, La Roche just said that's fine.
Listen. Who ain't gonna put it on? But
y'all, I know y'all done saw this outfit, and guess what? You
gonna see it
today.
Again. Okay. No, but she's a Virgo. Virgos are perfectionists, man. And she don't stop until she's sure. So I'm sure she probably was planning her marketing, and she's a marketing genius. Yeah. She's created. Y'all remember she dropped an album, and it was all videos? Y'all remember Lemonade? Nobody did that. Now everybody's doing it. And it's not working. It's not as successful.
Nope.
Because she created that strategy. That's marketing. Creating trends and setting the fucking tone. See what I'm saying? Every video she had its own trend. All different.
That thing was right.
All different. Gave you entertainment, gave you choreography, gave you vocals, gave you good music. And that's just how she is. She's the GOAT, man. So that was phenomenal. She did a Zoom, so she wasn't there in person. But I felt like she was, because, you know what I'm saying, she was live.
I see her.
So I was like,
what's up, B?
The whole help.
Not the help.
In the background. I was the help that day. Listen, I was just so happy. But, so yeah, it's all about, strategy and preparation and being consistent. I think that she's been consistent her whole career, for sure. What
would you say has been the key element to your success?
I think it's just working on different projects with different people. I'm a Libra, so I'm a creature of habit, and I love being comfortable, and I live for stability and balance. And I think that working on different projects with different people and different energies, I'm learning that, hey, this may work this way, but it don't work this way. Like, everybody's different. But the goal is to have success. So, layman terms, 5 plus 5 is 10. But so is 7 plus 3. So is 9 plus 1. It's different ways to do things. And me coming from corporate, I always thought, it's got to be done this way. And just working with different creatives, I'm learning there's easier ways to do things. You know what I'm saying? And learning how to let go and let people show you their life. Let me see what you can do before I tell you how to do it.
Right.
And that's kind of like where I am. I'm enjoying that. You know, just saying.
You are a firm believer in the law of attraction and the mindset.
Yes.
She is. So how has this belief influenced your approach to marketing and your personal success?
You want me to tell you a secret?
Yeah.
Can I share this with y'all? It's not even a secret, but I have never said this before.
Okay.
But you asked me. So I am very prophetic, very intuitive. I was born with a veil, so I'm very gifted. I have about 6 different gifts. Layman terms, like X-Men, Storm, Wolverine, they all have, that's me. So I'm very prophetic. I get a message. I get a vision, a dream, and I hear and I see. So I can communicate with the deceased, spirit guides, ancestors. And when I started to bring God into my business as my business partner, I invited him in. Because one thing about the spiritual world that people don't understand is that they are so respectful, even the negative spirits, even the demons. They are very respectful of your free will. They have to have permission for real. Now, if you're under attack, that's different. But if you tell them to leave you alone, they have to.
They have to.
Yeah. So God gonna protect you, but when you need help, you have to say that. That's why we have prayer. See what I'm saying? You're always gonna be protected. But if you notice when you get on your knees and you lift your arms up and you just cry and just ask God, you get exactly what you want. That's what it's a free will thing with the whole spirit world. So I asked God, I said, I want to be successful. I'm tired of making people multimillionaires and they just pay me, you know, $97,000 a year. I'd have made them $2.5 million. No bonuses. No, you know, and that's just a small thing. That's just something that really happened now throughout. But I asked him to join me. You know, I said, I want you to be my business partner. You're the leader though. And I do what you tell me to do. Right? And every project that I work on, I do a consultation. I see how I feel because your body will tell you how you feel. You ever notice that? Your throat might get tight around somebody. You're like, what the fuck going on with me?
No.
And it don't have to be nothing negative. You may have a crush on that person. But you know if it's a good way or a bad way. You might get hot. You're like, why am I sweating? Why am I shaking? It's an energy thing. This shit is real, y'all. Okay? And I asked God to join me, right? I'm doing my consultations. I pay attention to what my body tells me. Then I start listening to the spirit guides, and then I ask God about it. And I ask God to show me how to make this business successful. Once that part is clear, and he shows me. From the people, he'll tell me who to call. I'm like, okay, they're not going to answer my call.
He be like,
it's deep. He shows me how to be successful. And people be like, how did you know that was going to work? What made you create this? And I'd be like, God, and they think I'm just not trying to tell them. But in real life, it'd be God telling me what to do, how to move, and who to call.
Faith is, well, to your life, to your business. What is faith?
Belief. Whatever your mind can believe. We talked about it earlier. Whatever you're introduced to or exposed to, for example, right? What's your favorite car? What's your dream car?
A G-Wagon.
Have you ever seen one in person?
Yes.
Who introduced that to you?
I just saw it.
Was it okay? Before you seen it, did you even think about that?
I was thinking about Lamborghini.
Okay. Did you see a Lamborghini or you heard about a Lamborghini before? My point is, you're exposed and introduced to certain things. Now, if we take it up another level, go to the Mercedes dealership and go test drive one. Watch how you feel in there. I guarantee you're going to get that car. Because it ignites something.
Let me do that.
You have activated the energy. Now you're like, shit, I got to work. How much it is? How much you say what? Hey, how much I need?
Right. I got to.
You run my credit real quick. Now that faith, that belief come in that you could drive it. Why? Because you drove it. You know what it feel like. Right? Easy to manifest.
So speaking about activation.
Go. A lot of people have great ideas that is really from God because they're praying, I just need a miracle. The miracle is the idea. Right? You don't just randomly think of nothing. About that. You have to be introduced or exposed. Right? So activate it. And that's something as simple as Google. We have Google now, y'all. We have so many resources.
ChatGPT, all these things.
Stop making people work for you. People don't give a fuck about your vision. They don't see it. You got the glasses on. They don't. Everybody has their own dreams and goals and vision. I see a lot of people be like, my mom ain't helping me. Nobody believe in me. Go. Who cares? That's not their goal. That's not their vision. That was a message for you, only for you to hear. That was said in private. See what I'm saying? Go.
Stop making it for everybody.
Just go. Go and get it done.
Speaking about making it for everybody, what you do on Fridays is for everybody. And I just enjoy the community that you're building.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Well, real quick, I have an organization of about 500 entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial-minded people, meaning they may be successful or they may want to, you know, eventually branch off from their jobs and, you know, start their own companies. It's all a mindset. Nobody's better than the other, right? All you need is that exposure and, again, that introduction. So we have a group of about 500 people of a network that I've built in over 10 years, hand-selected people that I've met personally that has good energy. And I'm literally creating an event every Friday where I'm putting everybody in one room to all meet each other. And we have wristbands, right? The wristbands breaks the ice of the introduction, because I realize people struggle with, you know, talking and what to say. How do I approach this person?
Right. I'm new to this. I don't know.
They don't even know what to say. Like, you have a lot to offer. You do hair, you know, you do makeup, you know, you do production, you do interviews, and you'll be surprised how many people's looking for what you do. You see what I'm saying? So I created a space at a beautiful, it's a networking soiree. And the cool thing about my people, they're all business working people. You know, they like to go out, but they work, you know what I'm saying? So if they go out, it's limited. They're not bottle poppers. They're not trying to stunt. They go to work, okay? They got jobs. They're not into keeping up with the Joneses, but they want to look nice. So that's the type of people that's a part of my organization. And what we do is I have a Facebook group.
Okay.
And say like you want to move. Instead of going on Google, I would go within the organization and I would say, hey, who has a moving company? So we're literally keeping the money in that circuit. So we're swapping businesses. Oh, I need somebody to twist my locks.
We got somebody for that.
Forget Style Seat. Let me jump in the group. And we're all feeding
direct
off each other. Yeah. So it's a networking organization.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And, you know, good to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Passionate, I want to say thank you so much for just coming
Thanks
on
for
Second
having
Chance.
me, I love what you're doing.
Listen, thank you. And I got you a gift.
Oh, thank
because,
you.
listen,
that's my love language.
You out here working.
What you got?
And, you know, you need time for yourself. So in having time for
I
yourself.
got some goodies in here.
You know, I got some things that's going to
This
help
changed my
you.
life. Writing down one-word affirmations, posting bitches everywhere. Some people say put it on the mirror. I have them on the
Throughout
refrigerator.
the house, everywhere.
Everywhere. Forget the decor. And this changed my life.
Well,
you
you
can
have
write
more.
confidence, you know, whatever you want. If you're a procrastinator, put productive, proactive. I love
Change the
posting.
narrative.
Thank
you.
you.
So I was thinking that, you know, with all the marketing and strategies you're doing and creating, when you have time to just breathe. You like how that smells?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I love candles and flowers.
Me too.
I love them.
Yeah.
You did good.
Yeah. Let everybody know how they can stay tuned and connect with PMC.
All right, guys. So you can definitely check me out on all social media platforms, pmcmarketing.net or at PMC Marketing. But my personal page is a little bit more lit. I've been getting a lot of like influencer stuff. So I kind of use that page more to connect, like, you know, direct connection. So that's Passionate, like the word, Chonvill. That's Chonvill. And that's just a little bit of me, my friends, my life. You know, I got to sprinkle it in there.
Listen, y'all gonna see me on that Passionate. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and connect with us. And until next time, we're out.
Peace.
Peace.